Okay. Thank you, and welcome back, everybody. We're gonna move forward. Next on our agenda is Community Director Phil Rose not here. You're taking over? Okay. CAO Leggett will take the Community Services Director spot here.
Thank you, Your Worship. So, yeah, 2 items back to back here. No, 3 for me under the community services. First one is just the Spray Park Playground update. Verbal here at this point, but we still haven't received a second quote to do that drainage work over at the Spray Park. Representative from the Lions reached out to me here this week, wanting to know where it was. I did relay that information to her. Director Rowe feels that the park can go ahead and resurface that piece right now, and the drainage can be done after. But we just want to make sure we do our due diligence here and try and get a couple more quotes for that actual work, because the initial price that came in, I won't say that it's high. I don't know that yet. We don't have anything to compare it against, but there is a few bucks associated with it. So we're going to try and get another one here.
What do you feel caused the damage? Did the director tell you what he feels caused the damage?
There was apparently a flood event that happened a number of years ago, and something to do with a berm that comes off the back of the library may be contributing to it. As far as the surface of the spray park, the consensus is it's just at or past its useful life. It's like a recycled tire rubber compound. But
the surface itself is made to operate in that environment with water, correct?
But what was the year it was built? Yeah.
It is, Your Worship, is approximately 10 years old, from what I understand from Director Rowe, and that's getting close to the 10 to 15-year lifespan, I believe, that we were given.
Of that product.
Some sort of epoxy coating?
It's rubber crumb compounded together with a binder, and then when you lay it down, it's soft to walk on, but holds itself together. It's not super structurally sound. You'd never drive on it or anything.
No. And it's built on a base, and the base is starting to settle a little bit and stuff too. So, yeah.
So when are you anticipating getting this other quote?
We're hopefully by the end of this week, so we're hoping to have something to present at council meeting here next week. Yeah.
Go ahead, Councillor.
Sorry, there's one other thing. I just actually caught wind of it last night by accident. It just came up that there was supposedly some sort of leak in the spray park within the facility there, something underground in the cement or something. Have you heard anything like that?
No, Councillor Bullock, nothing
Okay.
to that effect.
I think you might want to check into that with the Lions representative then.
Yeah, okay, we'll do.
Okay.
I guess just maybe conceptually too, is this something council wants to do and fix that park up? I mean, are the dollars and cents, sort of.
We don't know how much dollars we're talking.
Well, the initial quote was 16,000 and some change to do.
Well, the Lions built that facility and then turned it over to us to maintain.
Yeah.
So we're at the point now, they spent a ton of money to build that facility, and it's a facility that's well used. I mean, if there's a problem with drainage, I mean, you think that being a municipality, that drainage could be something that we could take care of.
Okay, understood.
Everybody else feel the same way?
I feel like that.
Yeah,
It's well used.
yeah. Spray Park's a great addition to the community for sure,
And you
so.
talked about prioritizing not necessarily new, but maintenance of existing recreation.
Yeah. Okay, very good. Thanks, guys.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. So item 6.2 is the draft open spaces and parks bylaw. So Director Rose included a lengthy, detailed memo for council. I won't read the whole thing, but I'll go through each sort of subject heading here. So there's currently no parks and open spaces bylaw, only a campground bylaw, number 08-2013. The campground bylaw requires updates as per request from the Parks Department and Tourism and Culture. This is a new document that's been created in response to previous discussion on private vehicles on public park lands and the use of personal watercraft in the town-owned water bodies. The draft bylaw has also combined the rules of the campground within one bylaw. This draft bylaw has been reviewed and commented by administration, parks, tourism, and culture, and municipal enforcement departments prior to submission to council for your review. So the highlights of the new proposed parks and open spaces bylaw. Number one, any person interested in conducting the following activities within a park or open space must apply for an open space permit, and there's a number of them there. Number two, Section 10 outlines general conduct for park visitors. People within the park, within public parks and open spaces are not permitted to, and a few other bullet points there as well. Section 3, or number 3, Section 11 details the conduct for setting and maintaining fires within public parks. Number 4, Section 12 addresses the use of waterways within the Vegreville parks and open spaces. Specifically, this section of the draft bylaw describes the acceptable watercraft permitted on Elks Pond and Rainbow Pond. Number 5, Section 13 outlines behaviors on ice. Section 14 sets the acceptable behaviors while operating a bicycle or other wheeled conveyance on pathways through parks and open spaces. Section 15 details the permissions for vehicles within parks and open spaces. Section 16 outlines behaviors for use of the pathways. Section 17 covers intoxicant sales. Section 18 covers regulations for campgrounds located in Vegreville, and a policy for campground reservations. Cancellations will also be proposed in conjunction with the bylaw. So the administrative options, the draft Parks and Open Spaces bylaw is open for council review and for any clarifying questions from the memo that council would like answered. The draft bylaw will be fully discussed and debated on the content of the bylaw at the legislative meeting on May 17th, 2022.
Okay, does anybody have any questions right now on this bylaw? Go ahead, Councillor Lemko.
So we're saying that the discussion regarding the proposed bylaw will be discussed in detail at the Legislative Committee meeting on May 17th?
Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Worship. Yeah, that's correct. So, following the email that the legislative coordinator sent out, and to help council achieve that goal of getting this stuff early and having chance to digest it, especially with a new comprehensive document, we're trying to use this sort of template process, I guess, if you will, to put them in front of you guys on a meeting strictly for information. Right, so the agendas come out, now you've essentially got 2 weeks to read it, discuss it, talk to us, talks amongst yourselves before the full-blown discussion happens formally at the next ledge meeting, and then adoption thereafter. So hopefully it's a process that'll create better engagement and discussion here.
Go ahead.
I'd just like to say, I appreciate that process. I think it gives a little bit more time to go back and see some of our feedback, and I would hope that it helps all staff, essentially, if you're able to see that maybe there's no flavor in a section, then not spending any more time going through it necessarily. So I think it could potentially be a good process. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, so while we're here talking about this, I really do believe that we need to have a meeting on how we're going to put bylaws together. I know Sandra sent a piece out to everybody saying, like, this is an option of how everybody contribute to bylaw, but I do think that we need to have a workshop of council and staff just to figure out what direction we're gonna go in this. I mean, basically why we're changing them, what the need is, and why senior management feels that when we're updating certain bylaws, there's problems that they see or stuff that they'd like to bring into the bylaw that we're not thinking about. So we need to put a procedure together when we're doing this. So I would like today to come up with a date that works for everybody, that we can sit down, and it'll be a workshop, and we're just gonna discuss moving forward what it looks like. And I'm not gonna say that everybody's gonna be 100% happy with how, but we're gonna have a majority, and we're gonna move forward on how bylaws will be done. So, for that, and I don't want it to be tagged on with another ledge meeting or a council meeting. I feel that this needs to stand on its own and we need to make this happen, so. Sandra, do you have any dates that that you think will work? I'd like to get this done before the next ledge meeting. Because we're gonna be going into a procedure that, right now, that we're not 100% fully behind, and then if not everybody's behind or not everybody knows exactly the way we're gonna do this, and then there may be a few problems, so.
What about Thursday, the 12th? We could do a morning?
I can't do it in the morning.
You can't do morning? Thursday
I'm
afternoon?
in a course, all those, from the 9th to the 12th in the mornings.
So Thursday, the 12th, the afternoon, would that work? Or,
I'm good with the afternoon. I got the Chamber of Commerce, but that doesn't start till 6:30.
yeah, it should only, really, like 3 hours should be.
Oh, I would think so, yeah.
Yeah. So 1 o'clock or something, just give you time.
Sure, like 2 o'clock or something like that. Is that good for everybody?
2 o'clock on
Thursday's a good day.
Thursday, May 12th?
Where are you at with that, Councillor Riddick?
We have foundation in the morning, so we'll be done by around 12:30, so that works. Afternoon's good.
Chris, 2 o'clock works for me. Okay, so we'll get this done, and we're gonna all agree on how we move forward with why bylaws are getting changed and what the procedure will be to change them.
Good.
Thank you. Okay, CAO Leggett, you have one more?
Vegreville and area stands with Ukraine, request to waive social center fees. So there is a letter presented by them after the bylaw. And this is kind of a two-part letter, but essentially the first piece is that the committee would like council consensus to waive the fee for the community center for them to host stuff in there. The second part, which comes up a little later, they're looking for a contribution to the 50-50 draw, but I'll speak to that.
Yeah, and that's fine. So, right now, I don't know if you guys know this, we have two different prices on the social center. One for regular events, weddings and stuff like that, and then we have another price for nonprofits. And what this committee is asking us is to waive the fee for a nonprofit. And I don't think we've ever done that, have we?
No, that's not quite accurate.
Go ahead, Sandra, sorry.
Sorry to, just because CAO Leggett is new and may not be aware, we have that community funding that falls in the community services portfolio for the in-kind, the town donations to community organizations. It's to help cover the costs of setting up barriers or renting the social center for an evening or any of our facilities. And I had Director Rowe check into it. There is enough funding to cover off the expense of the social center for that, if council wishes to use that fund versus
Fee waiver.
donating it.
So if minor hockey comes next week, do we still get enough money in that too, or what? Go ahead, Councillor Riddick.
Yeah, I just have a quick question. My understanding is the tiered pricing of the social center is based on whether it is a group that has youth. It's not just nonprofit. So maybe I'm incorrect on that, but I believe it has to be a group that's affiliated with youth. In the past, we've had other organizations that are doing valuable charitable work that did not qualify. It needed to be specifically a group that's affiliated with the youth to be able to access that reduced price.
I believe so, yes. It is the youth component that creates the second tier pricing.
Okay. Oh, sorry, Councillor Berry, go ahead.
Yes, Your Worship, thank you. Considering that to some extent we definitely support the Vegreville Stand with Ukraine, But at the same time, we really don't want to set precedents where we haven't done so before. Would it be feasible to consider the use of the social center in this occasion as a donation from the town towards the Stand with Ukraine? It's semantics.
That's clever.
It's semantics, but we're not actually waiving the price. The town is donating the price as an in-kind.
I appreciate that. I mean, I do believe that right now this is a whole different ballgame that we're looking at right now, trying to raise some funds to welcome displaced Ukrainian citizens to the area. And it's, I like that idea that we can call this our donation to the Vegreville and area Stands with Ukraine. Like, instead of a monetary, that doesn't really matter where the money comes from. I mean, usually when we make these type of donations, it comes from the legislative committee, which is council's money that we have. I mean, it's all taxpayers' money, but it's a pocket of money that is dedicated to council, and usually our wages and stuff come out of it. But I like that idea that this would be our donation to that committee. So, and I know other functions that we donate in kind services, and we do have a different, is that a bylaw, or what is that, Sandra? Is it? It's a policy, sorry, yeah. Okay, so is there any other questions, or right now, I mean, what Councillor Barry's put forth is that we waive the fee for the social center for a one-time event like this, and we classify it as the town donation towards this committee. Okay, well, I don't see anybody saying no. So it looks like if it has to, it'll take a motion of council to make this happen. So we'll bring that up on Monday's meeting. Thank you, Councillor Berry. Good thinking. Okay. Up next is Director Lefebvre. Okay.
You've never said that.
Up next is Director Saskew.
I've also got nothing.
Up next is myself. Chris. Oh, sorry. I just think that you're always at the very end and you bring everything back in, but okay, go ahead.
And so this is the continuation of, this is the continuation of the previous one, Your Worship. The second part to this letter was that the Vegreville and Area Stands with Ukraine Committee is requesting a donation for the May 18th Pierogi Supper at the Vegreville Social Center. I've discussed this with the legislative coordinator, and we feel there was an option that came up, and she suggested that the town is in possession of several commemorative Psenka coins from the Canadian Mint. And we could probably, yeah, we'll have one here to pass around. We could do a few of those as the town's donation, if council's agreeable.
Just to clarify, they asked us for a donation to the silent auction.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is, and we do own a few of these. They were a very limited supply of these coins that were struck, and it was the Psenka coin. And today they're trading around $450 a piece, I do believe. If you can find one. You got one, okay, well, I guess we're gonna get two donated for the silent auction. Thank you for stepping up, Councilor Bullock, I appreciate that. So, but anyway, we are in possession of a few, and I don't know if there's a better opportunity for the, for the municipality to, we were saving them for for something special, and I don't know if we can find anything better right now than exactly, so. Go ahead, CAO Leggett.
Yeah, to that end, Your Worship, if it's council's pleasure to do that, how many would we look to provide?
One.
One? Okay.
We don't want to start devaluing them.
Flood
If
the market.
If we have three and Len's giving up one, I don't. Sorry, Councilor Bullock's giving up one, so yeah.
Fair enough. One it
Be
is.
okay.
Thank
Okay.
you.
You got anything else?
Not till we hit the action items.
Okay. So I'll go ahead. So we received a letter from Community Futures, and it's Mayor McPhee and Council. It is that time of year to be planning our yearly event, which is known to all of you as Lemonade Day. I'm hoping we can work together to promote our young entrepreneurs. Community Futures Elk Island Region is excited to bring this entrepreneurial program back to Vegreville for our youth to learn and experience what it is like to run their own businesses. Community Futures is keeping our request the same as in the past. We hope for your support to proclaim June 18th, 2022, Lemonade Day. Provide a safe indoor space to facilitate Lemmy University June 1 and June the 8th. Assist us in judging the process to choose the best tasting lemonade, best lemonade stand, and entrepreneur of the area. Attend the wind-up gathering to share with our young entrepreneurs what their experience was like, and we hope to hear your response in the earliest convenience. Signed, Kathy Demetru, Project Coordinator for Elk Island Community Futures Elk Island. Sorry, I'll get it backwards a bit. But so I don't know if everybody knows exactly what the ask is. It's not just we've been using the small side of the social center for them to bring the entrepreneurs in, and they go to university. They learn about getting a business license. They learn about borrowing money to get this up and running, and how they're going to build their stands and just put a business plan together. So we do, for the last couple of years, we have provided the space for them to go through this exercise. We've always given them a couple of judges off of council to judge not just the lemonade tasting on that first day, but also the stands later in when the day is actually here on the 18th. Plus, Dale's department issues these young entrepreneurs business licenses and stuff like that, and so they need to go and seek out what it would take to make their business plan work. So we will, and it's really not that hard to proclaim Lemonade Day. Actually, it is a great program. I don't know the ones that have been involved in it before, but to see these young people and they put a lot into it, and they're the planning and borrowing money and paying it back, and what their profits will be put on towards and stuff. So again, we'll vote on this at the next ledge meeting, but we just thought we'd bring this letter up here today. So. Okay, so your action item is not to the end of this then, okay. Fine, very good spot for it now. Okay, does anybody else have anything else that they want to bring forward for council business right now? Okay, we're gonna move on to just some round table, just checking in on what you guys have been hearing, or any questions you have of anybody. So we'll start with Councillor Lemko.
Thanks, Your Worship. For me, there's a lot of buzz in the community, lots of excitement about what's happening. If you were to drive east of the Psenka out into that field there, you could see the work being done already, and it's amazing in a week how much earth they can move out there. It's an exciting time. We're really looking forward to all the potential growth that this community is going to have. That's all I got, boss.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Curtis.
Thank you. I'll second that. I've had a lot of inquiries about the news and what's coming forward to Vegreville, and a lot of excitement too. So my work colleagues in that and people around town, as well as people excited about some of the Ukrainian displaced people coming to town too. So that's what I've been hearing. That's all from me.
Okay, Councillor Riddick.
Kind of the same things. I also did have some queries about crisis aversion or diversion training for staff, maybe at some of our facilities from the library board, just taking a look at some of the things that maybe we can offer. We had our first safety meeting today for the last couple of years, and great to be able to see some of our staff, some of whom are familiar, some of whom are brand new to us and us to them, And so maybe the timing is right to be able to coincide and be able to work on that together. I know there was some talk about training opportunities for our staff, and just want to bring forward from the library board that interested in partnering and how we could move that moving forward. And as far as the industrial hemp announcement and all the excitement around that, I've had a lot of people reach out to me too that are not from Vegreville, and really happy to be able to see Vegreville's name popping up in social media all over the place. And it's been a lot of work all along, so it's exciting to be able to see that.
Thank you very much. Councillor Warba.
So just a couple things, a little bit similar as what the councillors had said. A lot of buzz in the community. Seems like there's a lot of talk about the spring, summer type of sports that are up and running. Baseball. I know some of the minor ball has started, and I believe there's even a game here on Friday night. So everyone should come out to that. There has been a lot of talk about excitement to get back to the parks. I think from what I'm hearing, I think we should expect to see quite large turnouts at our summer events, the Psenka Festival, the fair days, because it's kind of everybody's really jumping at the bit to get back to things. So I think we're going to see a lot of people and a lot in town. One item I am going to send to you, Chris, and I'll CC all of council, maybe as well as the community service, was just I had a concern that was brought to me that we've been talking about bylaws quite a bit on our meetings, and that a couple people have called in with a complaint in regards to bylaw and have been told that, well, we're not really enforcing it right now. So I'm going to bring that specific one too because it's about specific people. But I mean, I just, in interest of you not having been with us prior, that was one of the big things that spurred some of the bylaw looking at updating is we had said, no, if it's a bylaw there, we enforce it. And there, in the case I'm going to bring for you, is very specifically somewhat of a nuisance bylaw that, or nuisance issue that somebody did the due diligence, did a report for it, and was told, yeah, we're not really going to deal with it right now. This is an incident that had come to us multiple times in the past, and it was a very strong consensus of council at the time that we didn't care if in a case it's difficult for bylaw to have to go back to, say, a parked vehicle, and it's sitting there 72 hours later and 72 hours later. Somebody doesn't get to be a nuisance and just then get ignored and be a nuisance to their neighbors. And that's sort of what started a little bit of our reasons for wanting to redo a bylaw. So because it's very specific and neighbor to neighbor, I'm going to send it to you guys in that format just because I think that's the proper procedure. But I just want to bring up that from my understanding, what we've heard on council is that we don't have bylaws in place that we say we don't enforce. That if somebody's calling in about a bylaw that we have in place, we don't say we're not going to do it right now. And we don't actually allow people to basically be too difficult to deal with and get an exemption from a bylaw. And that's all I'm going to say on that, but I just thought it was really important to know that certainly for myself as a councillor, and I don't believe I had heard around anywhere where we've ever said if a bylaw is in place, we're just not going to enforce it, or that somebody gets away with nuisance to neighbors. So that's all I got.
That sounds interesting.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah, not enforcing a bylaw that we already have, and again, I know we've had this conversation.
Yeah.
And it's not the flavor of this council at all to have any bylaws that are not enforceable, so. Okay, Councillor Bullock.
Okay, your worship. So yeah, what I have is on the weekend I attended at Vegreville Vegreville and area stands with Ukraine information on war. So what was really interesting to me is like you think you know what's coming, and then you see what's possibility of coming with dealing with trauma with people that have gone through that. So I found that really interesting, and I think everyone should probably maybe, you know, if you're thinking about doing anything, helping someone out, you want to look at the trauma side too, just so you know what's possible, what could come along. So there was an interesting show on the weekend on W5 about just that thing, about the Syrian war, right? So same subject, same thing. So there was that. Just upcoming communities for CALs for Little Explorers Summer Camp is coming up. So stay tuned. They'll announce the dates on that coming up as well. Last night I was invited to a meeting with Vegreville Speedway. They had their AGM last night, and they have come up with some dates. And I know that the president will be getting in contact with your department, Dale. And that's all I have for now.
Okay, thank you. Have they reached out to you today?
Not today, but Councillor Bullock did inform
Councillor Barry.
Thank you, Your Worship. Yeah, again, a lot of talk going on with all the other topics here that, particularly with the hemp news. I'd like to give a shout out to all the volunteers. Went out to the soccer park on Saturday, and a number of parents came out, and it was a good work bee. I think that they got all the lines painted, we got all of the nets put back up, etc. And the kids have actually started with some of the practice and etc. this week. The encouraging part is, although there's one or two age groups that could use a few players, etc., the youth, the under 5, the 5-year-olds and the 7-year-olds and the 9-year-olds, it's quite encouraging to see the number of youth that are actually coming out to these sports right now. And I think it's encouraging to the town. And I think that although the stats for the last census said that we actually increased our age by 0.1, I think that we've got a lot of youth coming into town, and it's encouraging. Thank you.
You would think every couple of years we would increase our age by 0.1, but I mean, I'm not saying that. I don't know how they do the math, but I'm just saying that I might see that more often. Okay, well, what I've been hearing in the community, well, I don't know about how everybody feels, but I like driving down to the Prosperity Park every day and seeing where they're at. It's pretty amazing, and there's a lot of talk, not just in town, but all over the province, and you know, how this is going to move forward. And there'll be lots of opportunities for different businesses that want to come to town here and be in our park, and there's going to be lots of growth within our community, and we better be ready for it. So we better be thinking a little bit forward here. I too have been hanging out. I've been to a couple of meetings now with Vegreville and area stands with Ukraine, and I got to say that they are really moving forward here, and they got a lot of progress, and they're putting everything in place that's going to be needed, and like hats off to them. They're doing a great job. That's about all I really have. It's nice to see people working in the yards and getting everything pretty again. I know our community looks good, and people are very proud of the way that their yards work, that their yards look, and they maintain it. And just want to appreciate everybody, know that we appreciated it on council. So that's what I have. Next up, you will be given the highlights for Community Service Director. Okay, so we'll move on to Director Saskew for her highlights.
Thank you, Your Worship. So I have a few things here. Wild & Company issued a clean audit opinion on April 25th, 22. We have since posted our audited financials on our website and for public access, and we will also have printed copies upon request at the administration office. 2022 combined assessment and tax notices will be mailed May 11th, 2022. As a result, the assessment date will be May 19th, and the appeal deadline will be July 18th, 2022. And we've also submitted our monthly ISIP progress payment. So for March 22, claims have been submitted with the following totals. For $372,910 of this ISIP grant is $186,455. We'll be paying the remainder through STIP $62,149 and MSI $62,149, and then the town portion of that is $62,157. And that is all I got.
Well, thank you very much. Director Lefebvre.
Thank you, Your Worship. Good news story coming together for recycling and solid waste management. The compost rollouts, for those that don't have rear lanes that requested the compost rollouts, started going out this week, so we're delivering them. Along with them comes a kitchen catcher and an information pamphlet inside the kitchen catcher to understand the do's and don'ts of composting. So people are seeing some of them being dropped out in the neighborhood and are calling us and saying, hey, I said yes on the survey, when's mine coming? So some excitement happening, and we're quite happy about that. Another note, the 2022 Capital Works Forced Main and Lagoon Chamber and Splitter Valve Replacement Project. That's our 2022 big project that we do, our Capital Works. As we dig into the design and the detail of that, we're going to include a replacement of a large scale, it's a mag meter that records the flow out of the lift station, as well as all of the valving inside the lift station as well. As it gets to the 40-year mark, it's just a really good opportunity. If that lift station is going to be completely shut down, they're going to overland pump and whatever they're going to do to move product, and it's down, it's a perfect time to revamp the 40-year-old valves that are in there. It would just cost a lot later if we had to do overland pumping again to do it. The price isn't coming in at a horrible amount. It's reasonable, so we're including it in the tender for this year. And we expect the tender to be out. Final design of the tender review will be in 2 more weeks, and then following week we'll send it out for tender. So we're still gonna make our mark on that. Prosperity Industrial Park, the design changes according to the new plan are being brought out now. So they've started the redesign on the north portion of Prosperity and where the dirt's actually being moved. And we're staying just ahead of the equipment as it's working, as we change this. So that's working out well for us. It's not holding anybody up at this point, but they gotta be on the move to stay ahead of them. And also ATCO Electric, ATCO Gas have been sent their changes for the new design plan, so they're gonna redesign their services and get that to us with a new cost and an updated price. So as the councillors are mentioning, and your worship, things are definitely happening out there, and they can move a lot of dirt in a day.
Excellent, thanks, Dale. CAO Leggett, you've got your update.
Thank you, worship. I'm gonna make my update here, part of the action items list, so a few items there to update you guys on. The strategic plan is with the manager of communications and marketing right now for formatting. Councillor Rudick did come to see me yesterday, and we spent some time discussing some things that are gonna be some better wording inside the document, so we're gonna look to implement some of those recommendations. The streetlights at Sunrise Lake are gonna come before council on Monday here for that sort of conceptual decision from council. Are we gonna try and move forward with numerous lights, or do you guys still just want us to charge forward with the one? It's entirely up to you. We will bring a budget number, you know, for what the lighting companies are recommending, but it's scary. So we'll see where that goes. I have a note here about the request for tour of the facilities, and we're administratively suggesting May 25th or May 26th. Do either of those dates work for everyone? Yeah, either or, okay. Well, and that, I guess, is in a little bit in your court too, Councillor Worrell. It depends on what facilities we want to look at. I would think the big major ones, but, you know, yeah.
What'd be better for you, the afternoon?
26 is just a little better than the 25th, and I can do either one.
Well, I probably know every facility in town, so the 25th, I can't do, but that doesn't mean the rest of council can't go without me.
Yeah.
I don't think there's, even the lift station, I've been through that quite a few times, so.
Well, and legislative coordinator here's just given me an email that was out from the director of community services, and you know, he's suggesting things like the RCMP detachment, the multiplex, public works, the landfill, maybe VMRF.
For sure, I mean, has everybody been over to Public Works? Does it, you know, you wanna see what their challenges are over there too. We're planning for the future, to know what our facilities look like, and to talk to those employees within those facilities, and get what their challenges are to work with these facilities. And whether, you know, because you making decisions based on not knowing anything, I mean, about the facility and how it operates and how it fits into our plans. I mean, we should take a look at a lot of the facilities. I mean, everybody should know exactly how they work, so.
Good for anything. I'm totally flexible on the 26th. 25th would be afternoon preference.
I can do the 26th as well. It's just the 25th, according to my calendar. On May 25th, we have council meeting in the afternoon. Oh, no, that'd be at 7 at night, sorry. That'd be at 7 at night. So I can do either day, whichever, but the 26th works for me.
26 works for me as well.
26 it is. Okay. So what we can do then, folks, is if, if these 5, the RCMP, Multiplex, Public Works, Landfill, VMRF are good for now, we'll include those, and if there's any that bubble up between now and then, let us know by email, and we'll add that, and
Well, you should put parks down there too.
parks down there too, okay?
Yeah, the people haven't been to the event center to see where it's at lately. I mean,
Okay,
What about the library? There's lots of people who haven't been in.
yeah, the library's not ours. We don't make the decisions on how it operates. I mean, we own the facility, but where it's an independent board, those decisions moving forward, how they operate, and I mean, I know they asked us for changes and on the facility, but we own. But
we wanna maybe take a look at the curling rink, your worship?
yeah, we could, yeah, for sure, and bring somebody in there.
been to the Trans-Canada building.
Huh?
I haven't been to the Trans-Canada building.
Okay, well, we can definitely go there. It's a full afternoon then.
Okay.
Might have to bring some crackers. We'll slice up some apples. We'll be good.
Okay,
Eat one on the train or bus.
So, yeah, so I don't know, a couple times before we had a small little bus, but whatever, we can just use a couple of pickup trucks and, yeah, and the lagoon's down there too, right?
lagoons as well.
Most
And
vital
landfill?
pieces of infrastructure that we have. So,
Landfills,
we
landfills
should know
on,
how it works and where it's at and, okay, go ahead, Councilor Lemko.
Hey, Your Worship, thank you. I believe this is a great opportunity to also, our number one strat plan initiative was employees first. This is a great time to discuss, ask employees how they're doing and just to mingle with them a little bit at those at those facilities. And just so that we can build that relationship with them that we said that we would do in our strat plan.
Certainly. Okay, so we got a date picked out. We're good.
okay. Thank you, folks.
Yeah, the cemetery too. I mean, I don't know if everybody knows how that it operates out there. There's employees that are there in the back there, and there's
Oh, yeah.
we'll need a tour guide.
Getting back to the action list, the family change room at the pool, Director Rowe had indicated he'd be able to provide a full report by August to council. And then last two are the highway signage, and I'll just state here to open that up. I misspoke at the last meeting when I said we'd received 22 RFP responses. That wasn't correct. We'd had 22 companies inquire about it. So it closes here. We've got a meeting tomorrow to review the ones that have been received, and I don't know that number right now off the top of my head, so. And then last but not least, and it unfortunately didn't make the sheet here, but it's on mine, and it's the budget review, that council had requested. Could we perhaps look at putting that on the May 17th, ledge meeting agenda, and, we'll go through the highlights from the 2022 budget?
Sure.
Yeah, okay.
You're good with that? Okay.
That's it for me.
So everybody has the report from your future listening to Alberta's National Police Federation report. Okay. They are sure spending a lot of money, that union, to try to convince municipalities of how it doesn't make sense to do the other thing.
It's not working.
Huh?
It's not working.
Okay, so some of the upcoming events, we got the council meeting on May the 9th, ledge meeting the 17th, the Vegreville and area stands with Ukraine pierogi supper is the May the 18th. And maybe, Council Lemko, you can just give us a little, on how that's gonna work and what's involved there with that pierogi supper.
Yes, the May 18th, you can pre-order. I think the request is pre-ordering. The posters should be out here. If they're not out today, they'll be out very shortly. And it'll be you phone the number on the poster, and you pre-order your food. It's either take in or eat in, take out or eat in. And we're looking for as many people as can come out and order your pierogies, order your, I believe it's pierogies, there's sausage, and cabbage rolls. I think it's lazy cabbage rolls, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm not on the organizing committee for making food, so I'm just going to show up and eat and put my name down on a few silent action items. Certainly a great event being held, a lot of work by the fundraising team led by Michelle Henderson, and a lot of people pinching pierogies for the event. And if there's extra pierogies, they'll be on sale to sell. We certainly need as many people out as we can to raise funds as we need them now, because people are starting to inquire about coming to our community, and we need to support them in with there's talk of the committee said a gift card when they arrive, so they can get some much needed item, toothpaste, and that kind of stuff as they're coming with nothing. So we're just encouraging the community to support us at the Pierogi Supper. And also, if you're interested in supporting a family, please reach out to the committee and let them know that you're interested. We had a posting went out to the Canada Host site one day, and next day we had 70 inquiries about the possibility of coming to our community. And they're starting to leave Poland or other places where they are. So this is going to be a lot of people that are interested in coming here. So we need to fundraise as best we can, and the start is the Pierogi Supper. So come out and help us out as much as you can. Thank you.
Go ahead.
I was just wondering, Councillor Lemko, is there an opportunity with the pierogi, you were talking about orders, are they taking any orders where you could buy bulk ahead for freezing? Yep.
Yes, depending on the amount of people who order, anything that's left over will be sold. So you certainly put your request in then, and we'll see. You'll put your name on the list first, and you'll be the first up.
I kind of have a 200-person event happening in July, so I thought maybe.
Yeah, that's.
Well, they're pinching 12,000 pierogies, so they will be looking for that just a straight by the dozen sale too. So everybody, it's either eat in, you can come and get a fully cooked meal and take it home, or put your name down to buy the frozen pierogies, but it's only pierogies that'll be for sale. So
Yep.
There'll be no other like the kubasa or the lazy halibut will not be, just frozen pierogies.
And I want to send out a thank you to the surrounding communities and the churches and the people in those communities who are also pinching pierogies to support this cause. So thanks to all them and the churches and all the other people who are putting their names down to pinch pierogies. I thank you for that.
And we need to understand that this is not just Vegreville. This is the whole area. I mean, these pierogies are being made mostly in the Willingdon area, plus other church groups are taking on so many dozens themselves, and that it's coming together from the whole area and stuff. And, that's what we'd like to see in this, because, that's what this approach is going to be. The whole community, and I mean the community like 100-kilometer radius of Vegreville, is going to take to pull this off at a level that I think that we need to do it at. So, again, thank you to that committee. Moving on, we're closed on Victoria Day, May the 23rd, for half a day, right, CAO? Okay, full day. Okay. Then we have a council meeting on May 25th, and I think myself and Councillor Lemko are going to Regina for FCM this year, and we'll be there to support Councillor Rudick in her attempt to become president of FCM. 2 more votes for you. Well, what?
Maybe.
Okay.
Okay, I'll work hard.
So that being said, that's all we have left on our agenda there. So is there any other business of council that anybody would like to bring up at this time? Seeing none, I would like to take a motion to go back into closed session regarding 4 other issues that we're dealing with today. So Councillor Curtis makes the motion.
Motion in the chambers.
Okay. All those in favor? Carried. So, those of you that are watching, we're probably gonna be a few hours here, so don't just